So,
what'd your wife think about that?
Well, you know, I'm still married.
At least you were when you left home.
You know, there's a lot of reporters been asking me, what's her name now? We want to check this out. Make sure.
Who was that fella that we saw her with last night? He had the big ring on.
The truth of the matter is, I mean, she's very committed. She would have been here with us, but she had her mother die about 2 weeks ago. So
sorry to hear that.
Yeah. But anyway, with all these guys, she's probably better off now. But
let me get your name, sir.
Sure. It's Reverend John Brewer.
B-R-E-W-E-R.
That's correct.
And your son,
My
Jonathan?
son is Jonathan. Man, where is
So, since you mentioned the wedding ring, I got to ask you, what did you get for the ring? I mean, you know, I'd be if I didn't ask you that. This guy would record me and put that up on the web, and then he'd say, "Man, that guy must not have been much of a journalist."
Well, I tell you, I was hoping for, you know, $1 million, $2 million. But it went for, I think, 150 something. It's, you know, the point wasn't really, you know, how much we could get out of it. It was, you know, to give your best sacrifice. And that's really what we were trying to emphasize to Iowans is, you know, come out. Bring your fellow caucus goers out and give your best sacrifice. You know, if a bunch of people from Kentucky can come 600 miles and stand out in the cold, and that's not to tell anybody what to do, you know. But still, a few minutes of sacrifice could change the country. So. Most of our, we call this the, we called it the Huckabeast. Mr. Huckabee, Governor Huckabee stole our name. We're going to call it the Huckabus. But it's more like a beast. There's not the creature comforts here in this bus.
Well, I can sort of get that picture here.
But originally, we're far better off because originally we had, you know, we told people when they were preparing for this, think about Valley Forge. This is the kind of effort we're going to have to go through. And it's not been quite that hard, but it's been some sacrifice. But Governor Huckabee is a man with vision. You know, I like to think he's a man with the right vision. Anybody that's against the fair tax, he made a comment the other night about anybody that wants to pay more taxes, please raise your hand, because you can do that. You can donate. There wasn't one hand that went up. My own observation is that you know, taxes are. I'm always glad to get something back. Seems like it always tends to go one way and it never comes back the other way. But you know, we appreciate his moral stands. And I was listening to the news. Of course, you guys in the news, we never really know what the real story is. Today, it sounded a little bit like Fred Thompson was, you know, kind of wavering in the air a little bit. He was saying, you know, he didn't really want to, or didn't like to run for president. Wanted to be president. Didn't want. I'm like, in 5-degree weather, man, you got to want to run for president. So, I mean, I think that, you know, this represents, this effort from Kentucky represents what's out there in the rest of America. And
so it's like a real grassroots.
It really is a real grassroots effort. I mean, we've sprung up everywhere. I will give Ron Paul his due credit. He has sprung up everywhere. His foreign policy thing, just to mention one thing, is one thing that I couldn't, even if he was right on every other issue, I think that's off track with at least the Republican base. So, but in any event, I don't think you'll find a much more dedicated group of people. And sorry
You see our living conditions.
sorry you didn't find us out here sleeping on this bus all like full of popsicles, but it's been a little bit nicer than that.
Okay.